Welcome to Golden Chat, where we provide straight talk. Each week, we deliver the best insights on assisted living facilities. I'm your host, Stella, with your co host, Lana and Pedro.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
Well, let's begin by giving a definition of an assisted living facility. Well, it's a licensed building, as you know. It provides care for residents that reside there, staffing, all their needs are met, um, whether it's medical or non medical staff. And let's get into the topic of the day. So, the topic of the day, I'm moving to an assisted living. Who do I call if I want to sell or rent my home?
And we actually had a caller named Ann that gave a really good situation. So we're going to address that today because it's very important. Maybe someone else is going through the same situation that she's going through.
Gotcha.
Ann currently lives in an independent assisted living place where she gets included in the independent facility. She is set up in an apartment style complex, and she gets one meal per day at this independent living facility. Also, she has to walk down to the dining hall to get that meal, so it's not in the area where she resides. And she also is involved in activities, but at the same time, she has to go down to the community hall to be involved in the activities. So basically, in the independent living facility, she is getting the one meal per day and is still independent. But what has happened with Ann is that she stated she's had multiple hospitalizations over the past 3 to 6 months due to her decline in her health condition. And with that said, she is very concerned because now she doesn't think the independent living facility is going to provide the care that she needs. So this is a concern for her. And another thing is that she still has her home that she owns and that is vacant. She has stated that she has held on to it for quite some time. She didn't get a renter in there because she thought maybe at some point she'd be able to go back and maybe even live in her home, which is always, that ideal plan that we would like to have is stay in our home as long as possible. But with that said, she does not think that she will ever be returning to her home, and that is a rude awakening for her. So she is trying to figure out, is it time for her to sell or possibly rent her home, since she now figures she's going to be transitioning to the assisted living facility. So Stella, I wanted you to, give some pointers on that would actually help Ann with some of those concerns that she has.
Yeah, this is a transition that we've seen a lot of senior be in, and it's difficult for them because they have to put behind a lot of their memories. And you're talking about a home. A home is, yes, it's real estate, but for them, it's like it's memories. It's a lifestyle. It's their previous lifestyle, and it's where they spend all their time. So what I would recommend, the first step to be in her case, transitioning into an assisted living facility, is to consult with a financial advisor, because now she's going to have to pay for not only housing, but like for the 3 meals. She's going to have to pay for all the care, because now you said she was hospitalized, so she needs more attention. So all that care, that attention is going to come at a cost.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to have to encounter for that. And we know that roughly the cost of an average assisted living facility is $3,500, depending on the area. If you go to California, it might not be the case. But let's say here in Orlando, for $3,500 per month, you can find a decent assisted living facility. So that talking about the cost she's going to have to pay each month to a financial advisor, they would be able to help her decide whether she has sufficient income from a pension or from an retirement fund to be able to see whether she can sustain that cost with what she's getting, or whether her home is going to help her derive more revenue in order to come at a complement to what she's paying right now, or whatever she's going to do with that, however she's going to use that money. So the financial advisor would be the first one to give you a long-term plan on whether it's best for you to sell or it's best for you to rent.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And, after she does speak to the financial advisor, let's just say that she has, she's looking at rental versus selling. And, they're trying to figure out what kind of monthly revenue could she get from her rental. The one thing that's really, really important is, let's just say she's able to get $2,000 a month for her rental, and that sounds really, really good. But in that lease agreement with property management, and maybe she has a pool, and then of course lawn, those are usually things that the property owner maintains. So those are going to be a monthly cost.
Yeah, so
you know,
let's go back on that a little
Mhm.
bit. So
Yeah.
basically, let's say your financial advisor says, okay, rental is the best option for you. So we would suggest, as Lana was explaining right now, to consult with a property manager, to consult with a professional. We're
Mhm.
always going to advise you to go to a professional because you get the best advice, and then you decide for yourself what you want to do. So going to the property manager, as Lana was saying, they will tell you whether your property is located in an area where you can derive. Lana was talking about those 2,000, and you want to make sure that it will. But as she was also saying, they're going to detail and break down for you all the costs, all the expenses that are going to come. So you're going to get 2,000 of monthly rental income, but you're going to have some costs to pay as well, because somebody has to, as she was saying, take care of your pool or take care of the loan, or get a new tenant for you in place. Somebody to have to come and fix all the to take care of all the repairs
The
if they
property
have
maintenance,
to be
the
done,
maintenance.
all the maintenance. Somebody has to look after that for you, because you're in an assisted living facility. You don't have time to look into that yourself. So somebody is going to do that on your behalf. So
Right.
what we recommend is going to the property manager. And as Lana was saying, is at the end of the day, if you're generating 2,000, just bear in mind that those 2,000 may be 1,500 at the end,
At the
because
net.
all of the costs that you're going to have to pay. So that was a very great point, Lana.
Yeah. And another good point with, if you do use property management, and you're correct, they'll be able to break down all the monthly expenses. But it is really, if you turn everything over to property management, which I have a property in Vegas, they do everything for me. So there is no headache behind it. They actually take care of everything from every maintenance that comes along to anything. So they have a really, really good property management plan in place. The other good thing about if you are renting is that you may be accruing yearly appreciation as well. So that may benefit you also. In her case, Anne's case, she actually owns her house clear and free. So, she has really two good options to either potentially do property management or potentially sell. So if we're looking at, like her financial advisor will do, what does she have? Does she have a retirement plan? Does she have pension? Does she want to, create that revenue? Or maybe mentally she just really would like to go ahead and sell the property because she's been really attached to it, and maybe it's time to let that property go. So
Yeah, if I recall correctly, in the case of Ain, she didn't need to have any supplement to her income to be able to afford the facility.
That's correct.
So, as you said, selling might be a good option, because she has equity in the home, as Lana just said, and she will continue to derive income by renting that home. And then with that income, she could do whatever she wants and help her kids, help her grandkids, whatever she wants to do with it. And if you are in the other case where you need a supplement, so renting, if you have a home and you own it outright, or maybe if you have a small mortgage to pay on it, we would recommend a good option for you would be to rent, because that rent, like last week, the case of Mary Pedro,
Right.
her resources were depleting, and she needed to have
A
an
supplement.
additional
She was
supplement,
looking for a supplement.
1,200
That's correct.
per month. So that rent, if she had let's say she had a house, that 1,200 would have been coming for her in a good way,
That's
and
correct.
she would have been able to stay in that facility.
That's correct.
So
And that would be
it's
the
a
net.
bad
And that would be
difference.
the net. They need to really keep that in mind that we're not looking at, the gross income more than the net
Yes, that's a
in a
lesson.
rental option.
That's a lesson. So now let's look at selling. And Lana, I think you were going on to that.
Right.
So in her case, you were saying, in the case of Aine, you were saying that she was emotionally attached to her home. And I know that is the case of a lot of our seniors out there. That's why they prefer to stay there, but they realize it's more cost effective for them to move into an assisted living facility where they have all services included in the rate they're paying. So if you do need to sell your facility, and that's one of the recommendation your financial advisor gives you, it may be a good occasion for you to talk to a realtor, somebody
Mhm.
um, who has experience with seniors or
Right.
is in the senior business, so they can really help you not just sell but derive the best value for your home.
For your home.
Yeah, because once you look at selling, of course, then, it's just like Anne's situation. She's going from, she's an independent right now. And so then if she does go into an assisted living facility, which she thinks that's going to be her next step, there's a lot of other factors that are included. So you really do need to get with a real estate professional that does specialize in senior care planning so they can understand the needs, because it's very a hard time that, people are going through. And they're slowly, when they downsize, that means they're slowly letting go of that portion of their life. And like you said, Stella, there's so many memories that are attached to your property that you used to live in. And it's a very sensitive and emotional time. So you really need to resource people that actually understand that
Yeah.
situation that they're in.
And Pedro, you said something about looking at the nets, and even in the selling situation, your realtor may tell you whether you need to do minor repairs to be able to sell the home at a higher value,
Correct.
or whether you need to do some staging, which is putting the house in the situation, furnishing it so that people can, or putting different kind of furniture, because you may have your own style, but people that are going to buy your home, they want to be late to the place they're going to buy. So staging is a way to put furniture and to decorate the house in a way that help the future potential buyer visualize themselves living there. So they may tell you to do that. You need to look at your closing cost as well, because you're going to have to incur closing cost.
Correct.
And if you're using a realtor, you're going to have to pay for their commission as well, because they do help you, but they don't help you for free. So all those costs are going to be in deduction to the proceeds you're going to generate from the sale. And as Pedro was saying, then if your financial plan advisor, you decide that okay, you're going to sell your home for 300, just realize that at the end of the day, you may have 270,000 or less than that in your pocket, just because you have to incur all those fees as well. So just always remember, as Pedro was saying, what is your net? At the end of the day, when you approach any of your advisors, whether the financial advisor, whether the property manager or the realtor, ask them to give you a breakdown so you can know what your net is and you can work with your net income or net proceeds.
Yep. And at the end of the day, too, you have to do what's best for you. Even though there's going to be a difference in the potential revenue, you have to do what's best for you and emotionally best for you. So some people may choose to hold on to that property and have property management, or they may choose it's the right thing to do because it's time for them to let go. So there's an emotional attachment there, and you have to make that personal decision as well as the financial and decision as well. But let me tell you, Anne, that was such a good question. We are so glad that you brought that to our attention, because I'm sure other people are going through that same situation that you're actually going through. So you guys, if you have any questions or concerns, any comments whatsoever, please feel free to contact us or email us. We are so glad to hear from you every week, and we love when you join us on Golden Chat. So visit us at easierlivingforyou.com or call us at 407-794-7277, or you can email us at hello@easierlivingforyou.com. So please stay tuned for our podcast next week at 12:45 p.m. on Golden Chat.
Bye.
Bye,
See
you
you next
guys.
time.
Nice chatting. See you next week.